My daddy hates robots.
Hello everyone, this is Cybertronian Beast, and let's talk Transformers. Alright, we're taking a look at Transformers Regeneration 1, issue number 90. This is cover A, and it was drawn by Andrew Wildman. So this is Wildman's cover. Let's take a quick peek here. There is Guido Guidi's cover. I do like Guido Guidi's art, and I did have a choice of taking that one, but I liked Wildman's better. And there is the retail incentive cover, and that pictures Grimlock grabbing or being blown up on like a little jet ski looking thing. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the covers, even though covers are awesome. We are talking about the story, and if you've been following my reviews or walkthroughs of this book, you'll know that the last two issues, 88 and 89, have been lackluster. They have been not top shelf, for lack of a better term. The team on this, Simon Furman and Andrew Wildman, I mean, the art is still there. The art is perfect. Andrew Wildman's art is always going to be great. But Simon Furman's writing, it hasn't been as good. He started off this series, Regeneration 1, really with a big, like a punch to the face. And this one, these last two issues have just been kind of blasé, and it feels like it's building to something, and really it better be. So I picked up this issue number 90, hoping that something is finally happening. So here we are, Natural Selection Part 5, and let's get to it. First of all, we start off and we're with Hot Rod, and he is down in the depths of Cybertron, and he has grabbed Primus's sword. And if you remember, he is talking with, or he has been confronted by these demons of Cybertron, which we found out are the prehistoric Cybertronians. And he is, he's got a bit of a moral dilemma. He wants to destroy them, but he feels now is not the right time. So he decides to take the shield of Primus, I guess the knowledge of Primus on this disc right here, and he leaves. He leaves him down there. You can tell they want to get him, but they're afraid of him. And in fact, he actually says it. They're afraid of me, of him meaning Primus. So so he vows that he'll be back down there to wipe these prehistoric Cybertronians off the planet, but uses the Primus sword and disc. It's definitely not a shield, to get himself out of this predicament that he's in. Back on the surface, we've got Grimlock thundering towards the Civil Defense Hub in Iacon, and just bashes his way in, and it's fantastic. So we've got some battles here, and I'm always good for battling. He's followed by a band of Autobots and his Dinobots. So we're getting some action here. Crosshairs makes an astute observation that Grimlock had trampled one of their own. So he pleads with the rest of the Autobots to put their weapons on disrupt and disable them rather than decommission them, so that when this is all over, they will still have some Autobots left. And Blair goes around hitting everybody but apologizing. It's kind of funny. A little bit of humor there. So we've got them just making their way through the Civil Defense Hub. They're on their way to the Decepticon clones, which thanks to one of the watchers of the last video told me that they're Pounce, and I honestly forget who they said the other one is, but they do say it's Pounce right there, so that's probably why I remembered Pounce. But then Grimlock just bashes his way into there, and they surrender, which is funny. So yeah, they're basically deciding or trying to figure out what's been going on here in the room where the Decepticon clones are, and they've determined that they need to decode the encryption that has been put on this this terminal, and it's they say its primary system encoded approximately 16 billion passkey variations, and that it'll take 7 breams, which 1 bream equals 8.3 Earth minutes. So about 45 minutes. So we get to the hyper cruiser Valiant, which is bringing Magnus and Smokescreen and Hound, all the guys that were on Earth, minus Optimus Prime, back to Cybertron. And at the end of '89, this was like the cliffhanger kind of thing. These guys were targeted as, destroy them, because that was Scorponok's plan. And you can see that the missiles are ready to go. And yeah, so I don't think at this point in time the guys, the Autobots that had taken over that command center, they don't really realize what they have to do, but they know that they've got to get that into that terminal. Back on Earth, in the Yukon Territory, we're at the Ark, and we've got Galvatron. I'm just going to lower the camera here. So we've got Galvatron, and he has claimed the Ark for himself, saying that he will use the Ark to get himself back to Cybertron, where he will take over Cybertron. Below, several decks below, they say, Shockwave, who is attached to the Ark, talks to Starscream, who, if you recall, Starscream was, lack of a better word, he was lobotomized by Megatron early on when the series came back, and he was lobotomized just enough to keep him docile, but not enough to inhibit any thought. So he knows what's going on, but he's not a zombie per se. So we've got Starscream here now can communicate with Shockwave, and Shockwave has enabled Starscream to speak again by what did he say? He has districted the blocks that inhibited your basic functions. So yeah, that's what he did. So they discuss the fact that Shockwave isn't completely separate anymore. He needs the Ark to function, but the Ark needs a pilot. And Starscream, being Starscream now, he's coming back. He says that the pilot could be him. Back on the surface, at the Sonic Canyons, is where we find Scorponok and the group and his giant planet-sized key. And there's an issue with the key, saying it doesn't function properly. We've got Perceptor trying to repair it, and Scorponok's getting very impatient. And he knocks what looks like a Constructicon long haul off of the cliff into the canyon. So if that's who that is, it appears that he is dead. I always wondered about that with the combiners teams. If I mean, obviously we're getting some more into that with, you know, More Than Meets the Eye and Prid, or not Prid, Robots in Disguise, and actually more so with Robots in Disguise, is that you know, the combined teams can put a new member into their team if one dies. But up until these last few issues of Robots in Disguise, I had always wondered if one of the members died, that literally just killed one of the combiners. So with Devastator per se, if you killed Long Haul, was Devastator now non-functioning? That would be a pretty good plan, you'd think. You know, go out and disable one member from each combiner team, and you could take care of their massive giant army. But anyway, it's not part of this story. So yeah, Scorponok's mad. He killed Long Haul, appears to be, anyway. And we've got Grimlock showing up. So Grimlock shows up on his little hyper speed cruiser thingamabob. So, and he comes down and starts fighting. And Scorponok decrees to the guys there that he is to be left alone, and Grimlock is his to destroy. So he transforms into his massive scorpion mode, which has been getting some feedback here. I have actually been reading the original G1 series from the beginning. I'm up to about issue 41 right now, so I'm getting there. Power Master Prime just appeared, so that's, if it gives you any bearing on where I am, that's exactly where I am. And Fort Max and Scorponok in the original G1 series, which this is what it is. This is a continuation of the original G1 series. Were not humongous city bots. They were big. I remember in the original Marvel series that I've just finished reading, they described Fortress Maximus as double the size of a regular Transformer. So he's not a humongous, you know, city-sized robot in the original Marvel series. So that's probably why these guys, Scorponok, Fortress Maximus, are not absolutely humongous. They're bigger, don't get me wrong, but they're not like crazy huge. So there you go. Anyway, continuing on. Scorponok hits Grimlock's little speeder bike with some kind of laser blast, and Grimlock falls to the ground, and they start fighting hand to hand. Scorponok tells Perceptor here to activate the key, and Perceptor says, "As you command." At the same time, the missile silos launch, and the guys in the command center, they're like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" So they realize that they've fired some missiles, and they're trying to figure out what the target is. Grapple figures it out and says it's the Valiant, the ship. So he's Blur is on the keyboard, and he is furiously trying to decode the passkey. Now Crosshairs down here comes up with a brilliant idea. Asks Pounce, who is still in there, one of the Decepticon clones. He says, "The passkey to Pounce now, or I swear to God, or I swear I'll execute you on the spot." And he says, "You're an Autobot. You won't." Next page. And right there. Bang, bang. Thanks to your boss, we're all having to make major adjustments. So he killed... I don't know who that was. If that was Pounce, then he killed Pounce. But they're clones, so they're the same. So Pounce then relays the key. And back on the ship, we've got Magnus and Hound reacting to the missiles. And Magnus says, raise the armor and get us down as fast as we can. And then announces to the rest of the crew, Autobot wreckers prep for immediate deployment. So we're going to get some wrecker action, which will be cool. Back on at the Sonic Canyons, the key has been inserted into the planet. And it just kind of right there. And Scorponok has got Grimlock underneath his Kryptonian piece, which I don't get, but whatever. That's Grimlock can be subdued by a piece of rock or crystal or whatever. So yeah, he says the Gene Key scrambling song will be beamed into the Sonic Canyons and hence amplified to 1,000-fold for every sector and city-state on Cybertron. And then Scorponok gets hit. And he says, this is wrong, wrong. And all the Autobots come back to their normal selves, and they say that it was kind of like being an out-of-body experience, and yeah. And Scorponok looks up to Perceptor, and he says, this can't be happening. It would take you, which is Perceptor, and Perceptor then goes through what happened to him when Grimlock inserted the key into him back, I don't know what issue that was, 86, 87 maybe? Anyway, says that basically you're going to have to pretend to be bad because the key changes your personality. So yeah, that's what happened there. So he basically tricked Scorponok to believing that he was bad and turned everybody good again. Everything's all coming together nicely. So Scorponok now starts taking shots at Perceptor, and the rest of the Dinobots start showing up to come to the rescue of Grimlock. Now Grimlock transforms into his dinosaur mode. He says that you may be stronger than me, but see, I have nothing left to lose. And he just chomps on Scorponok's arm. The piece of Krypton goes flying. Guys that are Decepticons and not overly courageous, they start bugging out. Perceptor yells down to them, hurry all of you, get off the bridge, we don't have much time. And a really good shot here of Grimlock and Scorponok just battling, just going at it. And Scorponok's yelling at him, you idiot, you'll kill us both. And you got a shot of Swoop here, firing at the bridge. We've got Snarl on a little speeder with his arm down, reaching for Grimlock, saying, Grimlock, grab hold, the bridge is going. Grimlock, you don't have to do this. And he says the bigger they are, the farther they fall. And they both fall. And just a sheer look of terror on the faces of the Dinobots that are there, as both Grimlock and Scorponok fall to their death? Maybe? Grimlock can't die. Back to the Yukon territory, we've got Optimus Prime making an appearance in this issue. The Ark, it's airborne, he says. And we've got the Ark just lifting out of the ice. And you see Galvatron in the window there. Prime transforms, and he is seeing it himself, and he says, Megatron? Now, obviously, I haven't read all of the Marvel series, and the issue that I have coming up next is the issue where they introduce Galvatron, so I'm not entirely sure if Optimus Prime has ever met Galvatron, but yeah, that'll be interesting. So obviously Prime thinks that Galvatron is Megatron, and in some respects he's right, but in, you know, this context he is not, because Galvatron is his own guy. Next issue, Destiny, Part 1. We've got Bludgeon just slicing Cybertron in half, which is just a crazy thought. And the teaser to it says, the very fabric of the Transformers universe begins to unravel as huge and ancient cosmic forces take note of Cybertrons and Cybertronians' descent into chaos and anarchy as Hot Rod struggles to hold things together, still reeling from his own game-changing wake-up call. Competing destructive forces inch closer to a climactic confrontation. The end begins here. Interesting. Other ads. We've got Robots in Disguise 16. Looks pretty badass. We've got Bumblebee. We've got Starscream, both holding up Metal Hawk, which has just been pulverized. If you've been reading Robots in Disguise, it is a great book right now. And we've got More Than Meets the Eye, number 16, with Drift, and a very cool Autobot symbol in the background. And that cover just looks really cool. Really cool. Both books, both of these books, Robots in Disguise and More Than Meets the Eye, are both fantastic right now. If you're not reading them, read them. G.I. Joe and Spotlight Trail Cutter. I read this. It was fun. This is one of the books that's going to be coming out with the new Generations Trail Cutter toy. So you're going to have Trail Cutter getting his book with the Trail Cutter figure. You're going to have Megatron getting his Spotlight with the Generations Megatron. And you're going to have Spotlight Bumblebee, which came out first, getting his, I think it came out first. Whatever the order is. Coming out with his Generations Bumblebee Deluxe figure. So I like how they're combining the books with the toys. Free Comic Book Day, first Saturday in May, May the 4th, Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And yeah, I believe, if I remember correctly, looking at the books available on Free Comic Book Day, there is a Transformers book available, so take part in Free Comic Books Day. BioShock. That is a game that I have never played. And Danger Girl Trinity. That looks fun. Some dangerous girls. Anyway, ReGeneration 1, number 90. A very good book, considering the last two as comparisons. I definitely recommend it. It's a lot better because it's just battling. I'm very interested and intrigued to see where the story with Prime goes. It's apparent, obviously, that the story that has Grimlock and Scorponok has come to an end, and I believe that's the reason why most of the books have been boring for the last little while. There just wasn't much there to go with, especially not a 5-issue run. So the Galvatron, Starscream, Shockwave idea, really cool. What's Prime got to do with it and how he's going to get involved, interesting. And what's going to happen with the prehistoric Cybertronians down below, the surface with Hot Rod. I'm not overly interested in that. But when the ship gets back on the planet with Magnus and the others. That'll be interesting to see how far they go with that, because I believe Magnus would probably succeed Hot Rod in control of the planet. So I think he's second in command to Prime. So because Hot Rod in this line is not Rodimus Prime. He's just Hot Rod. Anyway, that's been Regeneration 1, issue number 90. If you have any questions about this review or any of my other reviews, please feel free to leave a comment or question in the comment section of the video here. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe. I've got lots of stuff coming up. Lots of third-party toys, some not third-party toys, some old G1 toys, lots of stuff. If you want to follow me on Twitter, please do. Check out @CybertronBeast, not Cybertronian. It was too long. I had to shorten it to Cybertron. @CybertronBeast on Twitter. And if you want to follow me on Facebook and just check out all the pictures and videos and everything just on Facebook, just search Cybertronian Beast on Facebook and you will find me there. Anyway, this has been Cybertronian Beast. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later.